recording.
Absolutely.
All right, well, looks like the recording is started, so I'll go ahead and get us started. Hello, everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Madison Han. I am the meeting and events manager here at Doug. So I run our local meetup program and our DynamicsCon regional program as well. So here to tell you a little bit about Doug, who we are, and kind of what all we offer, and answer any questions in the chat as well. So Doug is a free community for users, implementers, and resellers of Microsoft business applications. Our main goal is to support Microsoft D365, GP and Power Platform, and AI community. We want to be able to give people the tools to excel and grow in their personal and professional careers. Our rules of engagement is that we essentially ask that these meetups are held to be solely educational. So please no sales pitches, no selling of your personal products or services, either speaking about it or dropping anything in the chat. We just ask that these are held to be solely educational. We also ask that you engage with your speaker, ask lots of questions. Nobody wants to feel like they're sitting on a meeting presenting and nobody's asking questions or engaged. So please respect your speakers, ask lots of questions. That's also how you get the most out of these meetups, is by engaging and asking questions. Dynamics User Group, or Doug for short, we also have multiple different programs that we offer. So we have free online open discussion forums where you can ask questions about specific products and the community will help answer. We have lots of conferences, which I'll get into shortly. We have free virtual webinars that go on frequently. We have a YouTube channel where you can check out all of our recorded virtual meetups from around the world. So really great way to see what everybody's talking about around the world. And then we also have a mentorship program where you can sign up to either be a mentee or a mentor, and you can really, gain some great educational content, great way to network within the community, and just a good way to continue to learn and excel and grow in your own personal career. We have one of our largest conferences coming up, Convergence, which for those of you that have been around for a while might be familiar with Convergence. This is a Microsoft-led conference, so we're kind of partnering with Microsoft to host Convergence in Miami from December 9th through the 12th. So coming up here very soon, it'll focus on AI and D365, and we have tons of Microsoft speakers. So a really great way if you're looking to get in front of Microsoft, hear what's coming next, engage within the Microsoft community, would highly suggest that you attend this. We are almost sold out. I think we have like 20 more tickets left. So if you are planning on attending, please, please, please sign up today, because they will more than likely be sold out by Sunday. So I'll put this QR code in the chat as well in case anybody's interested in attending. We also have our 2026 DynamicsCon going on in Las Vegas from May 12th to the 15th. This is a community-led conference by Doug. This will again be in Las Vegas, and we're going to have just over 300 speakers. It'll be almost a full week of education and networking. Another good way to get involved with the community. And we currently have our early bird pricing going on right now for $9.99, and that discount will end on December 31st. We also have, I did add the slide. Okay. We have our call for speakers open for DynamicsCon. Again, this is community led, so it's other community members that vote and decide on which sessions are selected. This is open until December 31st. Even if you're a new speaker and you've never spoken before, we encourage you to sign up and submit your session. And if you want to co-present, you're welcome to co-present, but we're always looking for some new talent and new speakers, so would encourage you to submit your session. Next up, we have our 2026 DynamicsCon Regionals. These are a little bit smaller in scope than our large conferences, but bigger in scope than our meetups. They're usually about 150 to 300 attendees at each of these. And we go all around the world to different regions to bring kind of the smaller conference feel to your local area. So we are going to Tampa in January for our Southeast Regional. Pacific Northwest, we're going March 20th. If we have any MVPs on the call, this is right before MVP Summit. And we're connecting with Canadian Power Platform Summit as well. So if you're going to be in the area, I would encourage you to come. We're going to Denver, Colorado in April, Toronto in June, Africa in July, Columbus, Ohio in August, Montreal, Canada in September, Germany in October, and Houston, Texas in November. So if we're coming to any of your local areas, I know with these virtual meetings, we sometimes get people from all different areas, but please come and join us. Would love to have you there. And that is all from me. But if anybody has any questions, I'll be available in the chat and I'll send some information there as well. Thanks, everybody.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Madison, and welcome everyone to another New Jersey Dynamics 365 and Power Platform User Group meetup. So today is a extra exciting day because we have two powerhouse MVPs joining us. So we have Nanddeep and Smita Nachan. So they've been pillars of the global Microsoft community and have inspired thousands of professionals through their books, talks, and open source work. So a little bit about Nanddeep. So Nanddeep is a Microsoft MVP in M365 and AI, a consultant, author, an architect, and the organizer of the Pune tech community. So he has authored several well-known books, including an Amazon bestseller on the SharePoint framework, and brings deep hands-on experience across M365, Power Platform, and Azure. Then we have Smita, who's a Microsoft MVP, M365 architect, and a certified Scrum Master with over 16 years of experience. So she's a respected speaker at global Microsoft events, an author, and a strong advocate for community-driven learning in the M365 space. So yeah, let's give them a warm welcome, and we're grateful to have you both over here. So yeah, please, over to you, Nanddeep.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the warm welcome and thank you for that huge introduction. All right. Uh, okay, so
Absolutely.
once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. Welcome. And firstly, thank you, Dynamics User Group, for organizing this and inviting me to be a part of this. So today that we'll be talking about Microsoft 365 agents. We have got multiple options. We can either build, buy, or extend, and we are going to talk about that. But just to set the context, as of today, many of you must be using Microsoft 365 agents, and even organizations they are looking out for smarter, faster, as well as more reliable ways to solve the business problems using AI and Copilot. So Microsoft 365 agents bring this kind of a power directly into the tools that employee can use day in day out. For example, Teams, SharePoint, Outlooks, and many more other things. So in this session, like we will be exploring the three key paths to adopting the agents into Microsoft 365. First one is buying, that means ready-made agents from Microsoft to solve the common scenarios very instantly for you. No extra setup, no extra knowledge needed for that. Secondly, building. So that means you can build your own agents which are tailored to a unique business process that you want to look into. And then extending, that means Microsoft provided agents to add domain specific kind of an intelligence. So that means we will understand like what to choose when, what kind of an pros and cons that we have got with each of the approach, and then how to create the AI driven workflows that are secure, compliant, and deeply integrated with your Microsoft 365 environment. All right, so I hope that set the context. So before we get started, a quick introduction. Myself, Nanddeep Nachan. I'm from Pune, India. Microsoft MVP as well as Microsoft Certified Trainer, author of these three books, including SharePoint Framework, SharePoint Hybrid, and Viva Connections, and again, author of course on Udemy related to SharePoint Framework. And then onto the right hand side, here are a few of the social media handles to get in touch with me if in case you want to have any discussions moving further. And with me today is Smita. She should be joining us in few moment. My sister. So again, she is Microsoft MVP, author of couple of books. And again, here is her Twitter or X as well as LinkedIn, if in case you want to have a discussion further with her as well. Okay, so with that, let's get into the agenda. What we are going to discuss over this session. So firstly, that I know you must be using Microsoft 365 agents, but still we will have some introduction to the Microsoft 365 agents if in case you are not using them. So this is kind of a section where we will set the foundation by explaining what the agents are. We will cover like how these intelligent agent work inside of Microsoft 365, basic demos, and again kind of their core capabilities, for example, automation, knowledge retrieval, as well as the guided kind of workflows. And again, like we will see why organizations are adopting the agents to improve productivity and decision making. Secondly, we will go into the core area of this session, like build, buy, and extend kind of strategies. So here we will be discussing out three possible approaches organizations can take. Buy, that means use the ready-made kind of Microsoft agents that solve the common business problem quickly. Build, that means we can create fully custom kind of agents which are tailored for unique processes, workflows, or systems. And then extend, that means start with Microsoft provided agents and add your organization's data, rules, domain intelligence, all those kind of thing. And also we'll be discussing out few of the implementation best practices. So we will see like how to plan the adoption and change management, how to ensure governance, security, responsible AI, and how to integrate agents with existing workflows and business systems. All right, so this is what we will be covering. Hopefully, exciting one agenda. All right, so let's get started understanding the Microsoft 365 agent. Okay, so this is very foundational. Right now, all of the organization, all of the users, we are using Microsoft 365, Microsoft 365 agents, Copilots, all those kind of a thing. So firstly, like what these Microsoft 365 agents really are. So they are the AI powered kind of an assistant which are built to automate the task, retrieve the knowledge, and enhance the productivity directly within your Microsoft 365 apps like Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, and many more. Okay, so this is very general kind of an introduction to Microsoft 365 agent. So what they do is they carry out the intelligent task automation. So these agents can take over routine, repetitive kind of a task. For example, sending the reminders, organizing the information, or even generating the summaries. So by automating this kind of a manual activities, agents can help users to save the time and focus on more meaningful kind of an work. Secondly, they help us to have the enhanced kind of an collaboration, wherein agent work inside of the tools where teams already spend time, for example, Microsoft Teams, Outlook, SharePoint, and so on. So that means you don't need to leave the platform to use agent kind of an capabilities. You get it in-house in those applications itself. And we are going to look at few of the demos on those as well. And again, this agent, they can quickly surface the information, answer the questions, or even streamline the workflows to make the collaboration pretty much smoother and faster across the entire organization as well as the business process flows. Thirdly, they are the AI and machine learning enabled. So that means these agents are powered by advanced AI models. Even for example, right now, for example, if I simply go into the Microsoft 365 chat experience, which is Microsoft 365 Copilot chat experience. So here again, you can see we do have capabilities to use GPT-5, and then just today I came across GPT 5.1 as well. So hopefully we should be having the GPT 5.1 here as well very much sooner. But there is a commitment from Microsoft that all of the latest and greatest models, uh, whatever we have in the world, we should be able to use them into the Microsoft ecosystem. And this is just one of the example of that. Like even we do have GPT-5 enabled here. And again, for example, if in case you are using Azure AI Foundry, you have got access to all of the applications or sorry, all of the models which are available from all of the providers. Okay, so this is what that is. And what they do is they can help you to understand natural language, analyze your data, schedule the task, and even provide the intelligent kind of an recommendation, all which is based on the context and the user needs. The last point is about the operational efficiency, wherein by adopting to the Microsoft 365 agent, organizations can reduce the inefficiencies, they can improve the responsiveness, and even streamline their processes. And this definitely results in a higher productivity as well as better overall performance across your teams. Okay. All right. So now again, Probably I will not go through all of this because I know you must be using them, but maybe just quick tips here is like we are using those as an AI powered assistant wherein we are using them to build our rack pattern, which is already there. So what is happening here is like these agents in Microsoft 365, they have got access to all of the applications that you have got running in your Microsoft 365. For example, you have your documents which are stored into SharePoint. You do have your conversations which is happening into the Microsoft Teams. Even you do have email conversations which are happening via Outlook. So using this rack pattern, retrieval augmented generation, this agent are able to get to the context. So now that, for example, if I again go back to this agent and ask like summarize my day, since this is a test kind of a tenant, I don't have much data here to show you those kind of a demos, but obviously this is kind of a basic functionality that we have been using so far. Now that, for example, when we want to go beyond, try to create our own agents, because we always want to give some kind of an customization flavor, personalization kind of a flavor to our agents. So now the developers can build or customize the agents using Copilot Studio for creating the conversational logic and workflows. Even you can use graph connectors to bring the external data into Microsoft 365, because not all the times we'll be working with the data within Microsoft 365, but we may have to cross the boundaries. We have to connect to different systems and maybe bring the data from there as well. So there are two parts to it. Either we can use graph connector, or we can simply go and use API plugins to connect to the third party or any kind of an internal systems. And again, we are going to look at demo of that as well. And then obviously it helps you to have the enhanced kind of an user interaction. So this agent interact with user in a natural conversational kind of a way. All right, so now let me just show you a very quick demo of how these agents work. So I'm not going to go into very basic demo of maybe asking this agent to create a image or maybe summarize my emails and everything. What I will do is I will take one kind of an example here. So let me go to the Microsoft SharePoint, which is one of the example wherein we will be able to see the demo of, oh, sorry, just a moment. Okay, demo of the Microsoft 365 agents, how they work within SharePoint. Okay, so SharePoint has been there since 2 decades. We have been using this more than 20 years now. So that means there is a huge investment, huge information that we have got in SharePoint. So all of our documents, pages, maybe any of the content that we have got, it is in SharePoint. Now that let's say you want to use this information very effectively. Even as of today, if in case you are a SharePoint lover, you will be a bit disappointed with the functionality of SharePoint that it is still supporting the keyword-based kind of a search. But again, thanks to agents which help us to overcome this kind of an limitations and give us the semantic vectorized kind of a search with which we'll be able to get the information very effectively. Okay, so uh, I will show you a couple of demos like how to use this agent into SharePoint, and then we will get this discussion ahead. Okay, so again, to create this agent, you do not need any kind of an coding experience. You do not need any kind of an even technical understanding of how agents works and everything. All you just need to know where your data is, because data is the fuel for AI. Okay, so to do this demo, let me go into the site contents. This is the place from where we will be able to see all of the content that we have got here. Okay, so now that I will probably go into, okay, we do have travel process. I think I already have an agent here, which I will delete. Okay. Okay, so now, for example, if you see here, we do have few files here. So let's say we have got one file for Dubai brochure. That means the information about Dubai, and then again, what kind of an hotels that we have got in Dubai. So consider a scenario wherein you are operating for a fictitious company called as Margit Travels, and they operate in multiple countries, maybe including Dubai, Las Vegas, London, New York, and so on, wherein they have got their brochures explaining about each of the country, each of the city maybe, and again what kind of an hotels that they have wherein they offer the services. Okay, so now that let's say for example we want to create an agent out of this. Okay, so Let's say, for example, if this was not being served by AI, what we could have done is we could have gone through all of those files that we have got here, and then we could have applied some kind of a logic based on what kind of information being asked by users. So let's say, for example, any of the user who comes to SharePoint and asks like, I want to know about hotels that I can book in New York. So based on that query, we might have went to this file, and then we might have tried to get the hotel information and then show that information to the user. Okay, so this is the basic thing what we could have done, and we call this kind of an thing as a imperative kind of an approach, wherein we take the control of the entire logic, how we want to how we want that particular application to behave. Now that with the introduction of LLM, we are moving towards the um, declarative kind of an approach, where we just declare what we want. We do not go into the technicalities of how LLM should do it. Okay, so and that is what is the difference that we have got now: imperative versus this declarative kind of an approaches. So now that we are going to use that declarative approach only, we are just going to define what we want, how, from where, we will just leave it to your LLM. Okay, all right. So the LLM here is obviously the LLM which is running behind the scene for this agent, the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, so to create a agent, we do have AI actions. From there, we will go for create an agent, and then that's it. Means at least that's it. If you just click create, your agent will be ready, and then you will be able to ask the questions to this agent based on the files which are stored into this document library. So this is the overview page where you will get the basic information about this agent. Let's say, for example, if in case you want to name change the name of this agent, you can do that. You can add some kind of an logo here. Even you can define the purpose so that the users who are visiting your agent, they should know like what purpose this agent solves. Now this is the sources. As of today, we can add up to 20 sources here from SharePoint, obviously, or maybe from OneDrive. So we can add up to 20 sites, document libraries, or even single files here as well. Okay, so but we are limited to using 20. But 20 is again a quite good number because you may include multiple document libraries or sites all into one place. Now, after that, behavior is the major important thing whenever we deal with any of the LLM, because behavior, or specifically this instructions section here at the bottom, it gives the behavior for your model or your agent, like what it should do, what it should not do, and how it should do. Okay, so this is the thing that we have got here. So let's say we do have this agent wherein by default instruction is like provide the accurate information about the content in the selected files and reply in a formal tone. But feel free to change it. Maybe you can say like you are an travel agent who will help us to find the information about the user queries on hotel book reservations and so on and so on. Um, Reply in a formal way and everything that you can do. Again, there is a jailbreaking which is available out of the box there. But again, if in case you still want to restrict few things, you can do that. Like you may say only respond to the queries related to travel. Do not respond anything else to the users. So that way, at least you will stop the users from asking jokes to this kind of an agent. Okay, all right. Okay, so that's it. And again, here we do have starter prompts. So starter prompts are like the conversation starter for with your agent. So consider a scenario like, for example, whenever you meet any of the unknown person, so what you do is you just do hi, hello kind of a greeting, okay? Because you don't know about that person, you don't know how to interact with the person. So you simply go ahead, say hi, hello, and then you start interacting with that user. Exactly same thing that we have got here as a starter prompt, wherein it gives you some kind of an starter prompt to work with, and then again you can use those starter prompt to have a conversation started with your agent. Okay, so now let's say, for example, here I say like suggest me hotels in New York. So this is maybe my first. Oh, sorry for the spell mistake. All right, so this is probably the first prompt that we have got here, and that's it. Then uh, again from the right hand side, you can see that this particular prompt has been reflected here as well. So we'll go there. We'll just click create. That's it. no code, nothing else, and our agent is ready. I can just click chat with this agent, and now this agent is available for me into the Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, so this is the basic kind of a functionality that we can use here. Sometimes you might see some glitch to get it loaded. It takes some time. So what I will do is probably I will just open it from here itself. Okay, so that we'll be able to use that, or even from here you do get option to work with your agent that you have created here. All right, so now let me simply go to the Copilot demo agent that we just have created, and here you can see this is the prompt that we have got. So I will go there and then I will just say like suggest me hotels in New York. This is the first starter prompt that we had given there, and we will send it out. What it will do in the background is like it will apply that rack pattern, because this is the knowledge source which we have given to that agent. So it is going to look through all that knowledge agent, or sorry, knowledge sources that we have got here, and then it will give the information. Okay, so these are the details that it will give. Now, how we can say like this is kind of an authenticated information, and why it is following the rack pattern is because we do have the citations here. Okay, so this is kind of a citation that we have got here, which is referring back to the file which we have got here called as New York brochure, which I just had open. So this is the citation that we have got. Okay, so it clears out to us like right now this particular agent is using the information from this knowledge source that we have given here. Okay, so which is a very basic kind of an information. Now that even this agent is here, you can go ahead, ask the same question, and it is going to answer you. Another good thing about this agent is this is shareable kind of an agent. So you can just click on share. You can share that with your friends, or even if in case you want to invite this kind of an agent to your Microsoft Teams chat, you can do that as well. Just click a copy link, paste that link into the team chat, and it is going to invite that agent into the discussion that you are currently having with your colleagues. So this one more agent will be added there. And again, you can ask the questions by using @ maybe Copilot demo in this case, and then you can keep asking the questions, right? Okay, so that was the basic demo. One more thing which is right now recently introduced in SharePoint specifically, which is again around the agents, is this agent that we have got here, the knowledge agent. Okay, so this is the knowledge agent that we have got. So once I open up the knowledge agent, based on the context where I am, it is going to give me the prompts. So for example, right now I am on SharePoint page, so it is giving me the option to summarize the page, improve this site, or even create a page. Now, let's say, for example, we again go back to any of the document libraries that we have got. So let's say we go into this resumes document library. So I got multiple resumes here. Few of them are in English language, few of them are non-English kind of a language. So maybe just consider like for anyone to go through these resumes, find out the key information from here will be a tedious kind of a job. And this is where agent comes into the picture. So once I click open knowledge agent, we do have option here to organize this library. And from here, I can just select very first option, create columns, and it is going to, the prompt here is like based on the documents that I have, create 3 columns to help me organize the content better. Okay, and what it will do is it will analyze all of the files that we have got there, and it will try to get the common pattern from that file. And then you can see here there are few AI generated columns that you see. For example, we have got job title, years of experience, technical skills, and so on. Um, and then again, you can connect these two agents together so that this knowledge agent will create a foundation for your users, and then the actual agent, the SharePoint agent, will use this for processing that. Okay. One more thing that probably you will find it here is like this is not just the end of it. So it has not made these changes as of yet. This is just the preview version. Now that, for example, I'm not happy with that, I still have got option here. So let's say, for example, I do not want to show the owner name. I can just remove, and then that owner name will column will be removed from here. Now, for example, if I type here like maybe add another column for country, so it is going to add that column and get the value. Once and when you are happy with this, you can just click save changes, and then only it is going to generate the actual values for that. Now, for example, if I click cancel, it is going to remove everything. Okay, so that is a virtual kind of an environment that you get here to work with your agents. Okay, so these are few kind of an simple agents that we have got that we can use into SharePoint. Okay, so that was the very first thing, like how we can use the normal kind of an agents that we have got here. Now let us go into few of the kind of an strategic approaches that we have got. Okay, so let us look at what kind of a strategic approaches that we can use here uh, to let work with these agents. Okay, so now let us understand like what Microsoft 365 agents offer us based on the different strategic approaches organizations can take, whether to buy ready-made agents, build the custom ones, or maybe extending the existing capabilities to meet their unique kind of an business needs. And we have got Smita here to cover that.
Hello all, Smita here. Greetings from Pune, India. So let's explore this one. So the option one is to build your own agent. So that is the full control and the customization. So when you choose to build your Microsoft 365 agent, you gain a complete ownership over how the agent behaves. So this includes the business logic, defining the custom workflows, rules, decision making steps, as well as the actions. Also, the data flows for controlling which systems the agent pulls the data from and how it processes that information. When it's come to the integration, connecting to your internal systems, line of business application, external APIs, or custom data sources. So, this option is ideal when your organization has the unique processes that cannot be solved by ready made or configurable agents. So, this ensures the agent fits your business exactly rather than the forcing your business to fit the agent. The second one is the essential development tools. So to build a custom agent, Microsoft provides a powerful ecosystems of tools. So the first one is the Microsoft 365 Agents SDK. So what it does, it enables the developers to build advanced agents that are identity aware, context aware, and fully integrated with Microsoft 365. The second one is the Copilot Studio, which provides a low code platform for conversational flows, connectors, actions, and the integrating custom plugins. The third one is a semantic kernel, a framework for building the AI powered applications using the planners, memory, connectors, and we have AutoGen. So it helps to build a multi agent system where the agents collaborate and also perform the complex steps. And we have Azure service, so which includes the Azure OpenAI, Azure Functions, Azure API management, Azure Cognitive Search, and other services required for building the scalable AI driven systems. So, together, these tools allow the developers to build the intelligent, reliable, secure, and context aware agents tailored for the enterprise needs. So, let's see what are the challenges and requirements. So although this custom agents offers this maximum flexibility, they also come with significant responsibilities. So the first one is the development effort. So building an agent from the scratch requires the design, coding, testing, optimization, as well as the development work. For the technical expertise, the teams needs the knowledge of AI development, APIs, graph, then the vector search, security, as well as Microsoft 365 integrations. So when it's come to the maintenance commitment, so after deployment, the agent requires the ongoing updates, monitoring, security reviews, the prompting, performance improvements, and the support. So this option is powerful but best suited for the organizations that have a complex requirement and the capability to manage the long-term development cycles. So now let's see how to buy these pre-built agents. So this is the option 2. Okay. So the first one is the rapid deployment. So buying a pre-built Microsoft 365 agents allows the organizations to get started almost immediately. So these agents are already deployed, tested, and optimized. So they require very little configuration before being useful. So what are the key benefits over here? So that is the fast time to value. So you can start using the agent within the hours or days also. So minimal customizations, almost The most functionality works out of the box. It's also reduced the dependency on in-house development teams and a lower initial investment of time and resources. So this approach is ideal for the organizations that want quick wins or have a limited technical capacity. So the second, the source of these pre-built agents. So there are multiple ways the organizations can acquire these pre-built agents. Okay, so first is the Copilot extension, which is the ready-made extension that enhance the Microsoft Copilot's capabilities using the predefined actions, workflows, as well as the connector. Then we have ISV solutions from Microsoft App Source. So independent software vendors offer the industry focused agents such as HR assistants, custom service bots, then the document management agent as well as the compliance and audit agents. So these solutions come with built-in intelligence and a domain expertise, and the partner developed solutions, which are the Microsoft partner built specialized agents targeting the use case like healthcare, finance, manufacturing, retail, as well as the government. So these agents are often packaged with the best practices, templates, and ongoing support. So together, these sources provide a wide variety of ready-made solutions that can be deployed with the minimal technical work. So let's see what is the advantages and limitations over here. So buying a pre-built agents bring the several advantages: faster activation, no lengthy deployment cycles, lower development risk. So vendors already validate and maintain the solutions, built-in supports to updates, improvements, and bug fixes handled by the provider, then predictable deployment, so which is a tested and proven patterns. However, this approach also comes with some of the limitations, like reduce the flexibility. The agent may not fit the unique business processes. Customization boundaries are there, so modifying the code logic may not be possible, or it can be limited also. Then the vendor dependency, you have to rely on the vendor on some of the updates and some of the life cycle management, and the licensing and scripting cost, subscriptions costs also. So especially in enterprise environment, so this option works best for the organizations that value the speed and simplicity over the deep customizations. So again, see where to buy this one. So the Microsoft Commercial Marketplace, also called Microsoft App Source or the Marketplace, is where this independent software vendor publish the agents or the solution you can purchase or subscribe to. So we will share a link with also with you. So there are some of the tips and the things you should know. First, about the licensing and permissions. So the some agents require the specific Copilot or Microsoft 365 licenses, and your tenant admin must enable them. Then the scope to fit. So pre-built agents may require some configuration to align with your data or the systems. So they offer quick value but may not perfectly match the unique workflows and the distribution and the governance. So if you buy from a marketplace, ensure you look at vendor support, update cycle, security and compliance, since you will integrate it into your enterprise environment, and the customization possibility. So some marketplace agent will allow the extensions or the integrations. So check if you can adapt the agent rather than the vendor locking it down, and the trial first. So if available, try a pilot before full rollout to validate that it real fits with your all of the business needs.
All right, so with that, let me just quickly go to this link and show it to you. So we do have marketplace.microsoft.com. So you can simply go to this, and from here you can see that we do have various categories. Okay, so if in case if you choose the first category, which is for AI apps and agents, so from here you should be able to see all of the applications which are or the agents which are available for you to use out of the box. So this is our option number two. Like if in case you do not want to go for the complicated development efforts, you can simply choose this kind of an agent and then get it deployed. Obviously, you will have to pay if in case there is a there is a payment method involved here, or even you can use few of the free ones which are here. Okay, but good thing is do the trial first, have the piloting done on top of this, and then only go for the real fit as well as carrying out your ROI. All right, so with that, let's get into option number three.
So option number three is to extend this approach. So enhancing the built-in capabilities. So the extend approach focuses on taking this existing Microsoft provided or third-party agent and expanding their functionality rather than building the something entirely new.
Sorry, just wanted to check, like, are you able to see the slides now? Because I just see the message, like, the
Yes,
slide
we are
is
good, Nanddeep.
still.
Yes, I'm seeing
Yeah.
option three. Yeah, we're
Oh,
good.
okay, great.
You can
Thank you,
continue,
thank you.
Smita. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
So this enhancing built-in capabilities, this is valuable when the base agent solves the most of your needs, but you want to add the extra features, logics, or the integrations. So without starting a full development project, some of the examples like extending the Microsoft IT helpless agent by adding your organization's ticketing workflows, enhancing a HR onboarding agent with your company's policies, SharePoint libraries, or the process documents. So expanding a finance agent to include a custom reporting step. So this approach leverages what already exists, saving the time and cost while still tailoring the agent to your organizations. Then the second thing is the use of APIs and connectors. So extensions often require the agent to interact with additional systems or the custom data sources. So Microsoft provides several ways to make this easy. So let's say this API. So agent can call Microsoft Graph API like SharePoint, Teams, Outlook, Planner, etc. Then the internal REST APIs, the third party APIs. So these powers advance the capabilities such as retrieving the customer data, updating the records, or pushing the updates to internal system. So when it's come to the connectors, so the connectors are simplify integration with the CRM system like a Dynamics or the Salesforce, HR systems like a Workday or Bamboo HR, the ticketing tools like a ServiceNow or Jira, and the ERP system like a SAP. So using a connectors to avoid the need to write a custom integration code, making the extension easier as well as the faster. So when it's come to the low code automation platforms, so the many extension needs can be made without full-scale development. So platform like a Power Automate, which enables the user to create a workflows that the agent can trigger, such as updating a SharePoint list, sending an approval request, creating or closing a ticket, integrating with the legacy systems through the RPA, or automating the multi-step business processes. So this is the perfect for the organizations that need the moderate customization, faster delivery, lower the technical complexity, and the citizen development and involvement also.
All right, so with that, let's get into a quick demo of like how you can use this extend kind of an approach. So to show that, again, I will go back to the Microsoft 365 chat, and here we do have option to create the agent. Okay, so here you can see create agent. So this option will take you to the Copilot Studio to get your agents created. Probably we will not create a full-fledged kind of an agent here, but I just want to show you the options which are available to create the agent. Okay, let me just refresh this page. All right. So you can go to the create agent, and then you should be able to create the agent specifically into the using the low code kind of an platform automation platform that we have got available from the Microsoft 365. So now again here, for example, if you have a clear idea, you can use the template. For example, if in case you are creating an agent maybe for idea coach or interview question assistant and so on, you can simply use that. So what do they contain is like they do contain specific knowledge sources. So here you can see that there are certain knowledge sources which are included. Maybe they might include some kind of a custom connectors to help you connect to the external system, and even they do carry out few of the capabilities as well. For example, if in case you want to create a document charts and so on, maybe creating the images, you can include them. Again, those have got certain kind of a suggested prompt. And onto the right hand side, you can see a preview how that one will look like. And from here itself, you will be able to test it out. So let's say, for example, we say like create a fun quiz on these files. Obviously, you will have to give the files as a knowledge source there. Right now, we do not have any, but okay, that's the reason it is saying like go ahead and upload the files that you would like me to quiz on. But for example, if in case you upload a file from here from the knowledge sections, or maybe put a URL here to look into that, it will work. Okay, so this is again one of the simplistic approach that we have got. Let me also show you another approach, which is a bit of coding based, but not exactly coding. Okay, so right now I'm into my Visual Studio Code. Okay, and then here we have got one of the extension installed called as Microsoft 365 Agents Toolkit. This is again another way to use the extended kind of an approach. So that means you can create your agent or extend the functionality of the existing agents that we have got. So we'll start by creating a new agent, and here you can see we do have option to create a declarative agent. So this is the declarative agent that we have been talking about, wherein we can just define what it should do, how part we will leave it to the LLM. Secondly, for example, if you want to introduce the LLMs which are available into the Azure AI Foundry, in that case, you can go with this option of creating a custom engine agent. Now, for example, if in case you want to connect to the systems which are outside of the Microsoft 365, bring the data from there using something called as Copilot connectors, or earlier it used to be called as a graph connector, you can use this approach. We will keep it simple. We will go into the declaration agent, and again here we have got multiple options. No action, that means we just want to create a simple declarative agent by giving the instructions. Add an action, that means you might have some kind of an APIs created inside of your organization, or maybe you want to connect live to the data available into the third party ecosystem and get the information from there. In that case, you can go for add an action, or again you can add the Copilot connector or graph connector. So just to show you a quick demo, we will go into the no action. Let me browse and select the folder where we want to save this solution. And to this solution, probably we will just call it as a soccer quiz agent. So this is the agent that we are going to create. We will call it as a soccer quiz agent, which will help us to test our knowledge on soccer. Okay. All right. And then maybe I will miss you, you might be surprised, but again, yeah, this agent is now ready. Just that we need to define the behavior for this agent. Now, if you have a look at the left-hand side, we do have certain files created. Even though you are not a programmer, you don't like coding, not to worry. You can just ignore what has been shown here, or what are kind of files that we have got here. Simple file that you need to concentrate on is this file that we have got here is the instruction.txt. So this is the place where you need to define the instructions like what this particular agent should do so that you can extend that. Now, just to quickly go through this, what is happening into the background is like we do have the manifest JSON here, which is defining the metadata for the application that we are going to create. And this is some kind of a Teams application that you can see here. Most important part of this manifest is like this manifest is going to create an app which is a Copilot agent, and that agent is declared into the declarative agent.json file, which is here. And this file is now referring to the instructions which are given inside of this file, which I was talking about, instruction.txt. Okay, so what we are going to do now is that I'm just going to simply paste one instruction here, like you are a soccer knowledge test declarative agent. Your role is to quiz the player on all aspects of soccer, including famous players and everything. So that means just give a quiz kind of a thing to the end user, ask the engaging multi-choice questions or even open-ended um, questions and so on. And again, adapt your responses based on players' answers and everything. Celebrate the correct answer. And for example, if someone gives the wrong answer, gently correct them with the correct explanation and so on. Okay, and then continuously refresh the quiz to make it live. Okay, that's it. This is the only thing, and our agent is ready. So to deploy this agent, what we are going to do now is that, again, just to let you know what is happening in the background is that we do have here called as Microsoft 365 agent.yaml file. So this YAML file will help us to provision this particular agent into the Microsoft 365 ecosystem. Again, if in case you do not want to go into these complications, you can simply ignore. But what you need to do to get it deployed is we can go into again Microsoft 365 Agent Toolkit. You need to connect to your environment here. So you can see here I am already connected to my environment so that I will be able to deploy this agent right from the Visual Studio Code to this environment. So again, based on the reference that we have got here, we are going to provision this agent, which is a 5-step process that you see here. Like first, it is creating the app package. It is zipping that package together, building the environment value and so on. And again, afterwards, it is deploying those packages. And onto the right hand bottom screen, even you can see that the provisioning is happening onto those 5 steps which are configured onto this file. Okay, even though, for example, if in case you want to leave yourself away from these technicalities, you can do that. What you need to do is just click this provision button. All right, that's it. So now let me again go back to the Microsoft 365 um, Copilot window, and here we have got our soccer quiz agent ready. Okay, so again, since we have not given any startup prompts, we will start by typing hi to this agent, and then this soccer agent will greet us, and then it will ask like, are you ready to kick off the fun soccer quiz? Okay, so let us go ahead and maybe start with a easy kind of a question. Okay, so probably will not do it entirely, but if in case you want to give the answer in the chat window, please feel free to do it. Which country won the FIFA World Cup in 2018? Even I'm not very much sure, but if in case someone can help me with the answer, that's fine. Um, or probably even the Copilot is using or agent is using its own intelligence and it is giving the answer as C France. So let us go with that because even I'm not pretty much sure. Okay, and then you can see this is the correct answer. So what it will do is it will ask us like, are we now ready to go for the next question and so on. Okay, so probably we'll not play this entire game, but this is kind of an option which is available to us by which we can do the extension. Okay, so this is the option number 3 that we have got, like with which we'll be able to extend the capabilities of the built-in agent that we have got. All right, so now let us understand how to know if we should buy or build and then go about that.
So the first thing is what is the outcome or the scenario you are trying to solve for. So the before choosing a solution, so you must clearly understand your end goal. So different type of agents are designed for the specific scenarios: IT support, HR automation, knowledge discovery, ticketing, onboarding, governance, and many more. So why it matters? So if the scenario closely matches an existing product, then buying is usually a best fit. And if the scenario is a unique or highly specialized, then building may be required. So let's say, for example, the standard HR FAQs, then you can just buy, and for example, custom compliance validation, then you have to build. So what data sets are you considering in this solution? So understanding where your data lives and how it will be accessed helps to determine the feasibility also. So some of the key considerations over here is the data in Microsoft 365. Does it come from multiple external systems? Does it require API level access or the special permissions? Does it need secure or real time integration? So, why it matters? So, if your data is already in Microsoft 365 with a simple access, buying, or extending, it is easier. So, if you need the deep integration within the internal databases or the legacy system, then building may be necessary. So, what functionality is nice to have and versus need to have? So, good to have and required to have, in short. So, this helps this prioritization features based on the business importance. So, again, why it matters? So, for the pre-built agents, usually solves our 70 to 80% of standard requirements. So, the custom features must have the capabilities may not exist of the shelf product. Again, who will be monitoring or maintaining the solution? These also you have to check. And then some of the guidances are over there, like you have to understand what the tools, agent templates, or the pre-built solutions are already exist over there. So with that, we will check that what are these. Over here, so here is the clean and comparison slide for the build versus the buy and the extend. So comparison, let's say when you say that build your own agent, when to choose, when the highly specific business processes need a full control, deep integrations or the custom logics. So it's a maximum customization come to the pros, and then when it's come to the cons, it's the highest development efforts also. And then the tools used, so when building a fully custom agents, you need to developer has to focus tools and frameworks that offer the full control like Microsoft 365 SDK, Copilot Studio, Semantic Kernel, AutoGen, Azure Services. And when this tool sets fits the custom workflows, any of the multi-agent reasoning also. So these are all the things you have to consider over here. So due to the time constraint, we will not able to cover everything over here. And let's understand some of the strengths and limitations also of each approaches also. So over here you can see on the screen we have already mentioned about the pros and cons of this analysis. And the next one is the comparative analysis. So over here, how we can see how to build, buy, and extend the approaches to understand how they differ in the cost, control, complexity, and the time to value. So these comparisons are the build, buy, and extend the approaches, evaluating the factors such as the cost, time to deployment, flexibility, and long-term sustainability also.
So now that from here, at least you can see like this is a table which compares the three strategic approaches that you can choose across your decision criteria, which will help you to quickly understand which options align best with your organization goals, resources, as well as the constraint. So firstly, we do have the cost. Okay, so for example, obviously whenever you're building, the cost will be higher. For example, if you're buying, cost will be medium because you can just pay the licensing or subscription fees, but avoid any kind of a development cost. And then when you're extending, it could be low to medium because you're extending the existing agent needs with the fewer resources than building from scratch, which makes it more cost effective. Second criteria or second parameter here is time to deploy. So obviously, whenever you are building the full development lifecycle, testing, approval, as well as the integration will take time. So it is going to take a longer time for you. When you will buy, it will be short because there are pre-built agents which can be deployed even within hours or with some configurations even within few days. Now in the extend option, it requires some moderate time because enhancing the existing agent is faster than building, but it takes some more time than buying. Now, the third criteria is about customization. Obviously, when you are building, you get a full flexibility. So you have 100% control over the logic, data flow, UI, workflows, as well as any kind of an integration that you want to make within Microsoft 65 or even outside of that. When you buy, obviously, you get limited customization option because these are kind of a pre-built agent which offers predefined functions with fewer customization kind of an options. And then lastly, when you extend, um, there's a moderate customization options available because you can add features and integration, but still dependent on what this base agent actually supports. From the support point of view, so obviously when you are building that internally, your internal IT or engineering team or the development team owns the support, updates, as well as the troubleshooting. When you buy, you are dependent on a vendor. So vendor provides updates, fixes, enhancement, and customer support. And then lastly, when you extend, it is bit mixed because you rely partly on the best product or the vendor and partly onto your internal team for the custom parts. The last thing here is about scalability. So obviously, when you build this kind of a customizations on your own, you get a high scalability because custom agents can scale as broadly as needed based on your architecture. With the buy option, it totally depends on the vendor because scalability depends on the vendor's platform, their SLAs, as well as the infrastructure that they support. And with Extend, it is moderate because scalability is shared between the base product capabilities and your extensions. So just to summarize, summarizing this session, like build gives you the maximum control but highest cost, but the long delivery time, but it gives you more flexibility. When you go for the buy option, it is kind of a fastest deployment, lowest kind of a flexibility, and you may not be able to get the full control over the solutions that you have got. And then when you go for the extend option, it is kind of a balanced approach with moderate kind of a cost, time, and customization. So there is no single fit kind of a solution for whether to go with directly with build, buy, or extend. But we just try to show you few of the considerations that you can make so that it will help you to take the decision when you are trying to have an agent for your organization, so you can take a decision, or at least this kind of a criteria will help you to take a decision whether to build that agent, buy the agent, or maybe extend the current functionalities to take it forward. All right, so with that, we are ending the session. So thank you very much for joining us today. And if in case you do have any questions, maybe feel free to connect with us and then we can take it ahead from there. Quickly, like I just saw one of the questions in the chat, I guess from Rohan. He was asking like what kind of an issues that could be around security and permissions. So obviously, see, one more thing here is like agent is not an entirely new technology or something new which is we are discovering for the first time. We have been using this data for a longer time. If in case you do not have good data, if in case you do not have good permission models, um, your agent implementation will fail, obviously. Let's say, for example, I gave you the example of SharePoint. Okay, so let's say when you go to the SharePoint site, at the top here, you do have this search box. So what you can do is you can just search inside of this box, and then, for example, if you hit the correct terminology or correct keyword, you are going to get the results. So let's say, for example, if you search here salary, probably if in case you have access, you could know the salary of your CEO as well. Okay, but it is just about the kind of a security that you have got. If in case you have secured your system with the RBAC, lowest privileges, and so on, since the user do not have the accesses, the agent will not have the access. Okay, so it is not like agent is entirely new system and it is going to give you the control which the human will not have. Absolutely not, because it runs within the context of the current user. If the user has got access, definitely this agent will surface that information for you. Only thing here is like since it uses the contextual as well as the semantic vectorized kind of an information, it is pretty much flexible, as well as it is pretty much powerful, so that it can help you get the correct information at the correct time. Okay, so there are no concerns directly around the security or anything as such. If in case you have given the or if you have applied the correct security models, there should not be any other concerns related to that. But again, if in case you have got any different question, please feel free to add to that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nanddeep, Smita. This was a really informative session. I certainly feel like a lot of us are new to this space. So, yeah, like any information around agents and agent building process is, yeah, surely helpful. So, one question that I had was like, how would you choose between an M365 agent versus like a Copilot Studio agent when you're like starting the build process? Like, what's your decision criteria when it comes to when to use an M365 agent versus like a full-fledged Copilot Studio agent?
Correct. Means again, there was a decision framework that we talked about. So let me just try to check if in case I can bring that again. But then we talk about the criteria like the cost, the control, as well as the customization option. So again, the clear thing here is like when we are comparing the using the Microsoft 365 agent, that means the one that we have got here
Mm-hmm.
versus the one which is available into the Copilot Studio.
Yeah.
Definitely, we need to see what kind of a licenses we have got. If in case you
Mm-hmm.
have got Copilot Studio license, you can go ahead implement the functionality with that. If in case you have
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft 365 license agent, sorry, Microsoft 365 Copilot license, you can create based on this as well. Again,
Perfect.
see, means there is a control which is one of the criteria that we had mentioned. When you will
Mm-hmm.
go into developing the agents using Copilot Studio, and if in case you do not like to code and or maybe you do not want to go into the very
Mm-hmm.
technical
Mm-hmm.
complexities, you can simply go ahead create this kind of an agent wherein
Mm.
you will be able to use the flows as well, or even certain topics and everything. So just with some kind of an not exactly drag and drop, but just kind of an blocks, you will be able to
Yeah,
define your agent.
makes
Now,
sense.
for example, if in case you do have the if in case you do have the Microsoft 365 Copilot license, if in case you want to extend it further, you can use that functionality with the declarative agent, the this kind of a capability that I had shown to you. Secondly, even you can use that with the semantic kernel or agent framework, which is the new framework that we have got right now. So
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of a differences like what kind of a control that you want to have over your solution or the agent that you are trying to build, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously cost, because the Microsoft 365 Copilot license is still expensive. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously not all the organizations are giving those licenses to all of the users, which
Yeah.
they are obviously rolling it out. But there are these criteria that we need to consider, like the customizations, the time that you will need to develop and deploy it, cost around that, the control that you will get, and then the
Mm-hmm.
maintenance kind of a thing, like what kind of a
Mm-hmm.
maintenance will be included in that. So as I said, it's like there is no thumb rule. Like if
Mm-hmm.
this is the case, go with Copilot Studio. If this is the case, then go with Agent Framework, or maybe like
Mm-hmm.
that, based on what kind of a licenses you have got, what kind of a customization functionality you need,
Mm.
and the business problem that you are trying to solve. You can use that. Now, let's say for example, if in case you are interested to do some kind of a research and analysis kind of a thing, in that
Mm-hmm.
case obviously you can go for the Azure AI Foundry. Okay, so you can directly go into the Azure AI Foundry and maybe create the agents from there. So let me just quickly show it to you. I think I do have one Azure AI instance running here somewhere. Okay, probably I can directly go to Azure AI Foundry, show you all the resources. Yep, I do have. So even here you can create an agent, and then even you can deploy this agent into the Copilot Studio, get it extended to Microsoft 365, or even from here you can use that into this functionality. The second option that I had shown you, like when you go for creating the agent, there was a second option to custom using the custom engine agent, and here you do get that flexibility to use either Azure OpenAI or OpenAI. So in this case, you can choose your model which is available from the Azure OpenAI or the AI Foundry and use that. So there are various options available as of now. So even in this AI Foundry, you can deploy your model. So once you create a project here, right now I do not have the full-fledged project created here. I just have got one deployment here. But once you create a project inside of this AI Foundry, you will get access to all of the models. So not just limited to Microsoft or OpenAI, but you will get all of the models, even including Mistral, Llama, DeepSeek, and so on. So even you can
Mm-hmm.
use those models for building out the functionality.
Very cool. Yeah, thank you so much for
Yeah,
sharing all of this information, Nanddeep. Really appreciate it. And
yeah.
yeah, I know it's super late for you guys. So yeah, I hope you have a great night, and yeah, hope you have a great weekend as well.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting us. Hopefully, this session was helpful to all of you who are joining, as well as all of you who are watching onto the YouTube or onto the recording. All right. But again, once again, thank you everyone for joining, and then hope to see you soon. And then have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Nanddeep. Thanks,
Thank you.
Smita.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.